What's going on YouTube? It's Matt with Uncrowned Kings here with Tyler Morris, who just got his invite at the Indianapolis Regional Qualifier, and then back-to-back with the Top 4 Case event.
Yep. So
just yesterday too.
Yep. So we just played the Case event yesterday. I got fourth, and then top 4. The guy obliterated me because he opened up Ash Bell to my called by, and it's just yeah. But anyway, I was super happy with how this deck played. It is pretty much Nightfall's list. I'm going to kind of go through some things that I might change. But to make it easy, 3 Albaz, 3 Albion. I really liked this card. So a lot of the times that you're having problems with is like getting access to Albaz. I know it sounds weird because the whole deck's revolved around him, but you can extend a lot further, like with Cartesian stuff, once you have access to him. So, and like the little upstart's good. Yeah, so it's like a utility piece. 3 Luber. The hands that I couldn't play, like I had multiple or like continuous access to these, and the tragedy. So I might fix this ratio a little bit. Ideally, I would want to play Adlib. I played Adlib like for Nats and last year, and you know, just like continuously play that card. But I just went right for Nightfall's list because I didn't have a lot of chance to test. But I definitely need another target because Allure plus this is like disgusting. So Quim, more access to Albaz, and like this card's just disgusting. A Tempai player I think made me go he made me go first after not knowing what he was playing, and like I didn't even puppet him, but like this was like enough between like the Cartesia and like the multiple mirrored Jades interrupt. It was actually pretty disgusting. Cartesia, this might actually go to multiples. Like needing access to this is like super important. Like this is like obviously your polymerization and other things. Like it's just ways to dodge cards. Double Merc. This came up a couple times, but mostly just like the Allure, and like you're playing 50 cards. So the kit to kind of make the Merc worthwhile, and like the Branded High Spirits. These 2 are mandatory. I don't know if I would play anymore because like if you're playing Snake Eyes over and over, like this is not going to be very effective. Maybe the 1 Magnum might be worth it, but and then this stupid card. I got a couple people, but mostly it was like just breaking boards, which this deck does best. And then like you can still set this up, which is like ridiculous. 3 Branded Opening, which like this card's banish effect to protect came up so many times today, just to like Tempai Black Rose in the battle phase, and then I just activated Branded Opening to save itself, and he like blew up his whole board. And then Branded Fusion, this card's just disgusting. Branded in a red. You can probably play multiples, but like 1 was like just enough because like you have Tragedy, Retribution, and like your initial Branded in red, so it's usually enough. This card, I think I want to bump this up. I didn't utilize it like to like its full capacity this time around, but like getting a card in the graveyard, getting access to kit, like it costs you like an extra card to like be alive, but the fact that like it plays around Ash by itself is like really strong. And then this card is just dumb. You can't respond. And then the Retribution, which is pretty standard. So that's most of that. Droplets. This card like saved me against Tempai. Thank God, because like that was for the invite as well. Yeah, so like there's a lot to be had here. Like you can just turn off like half your opponent's board, and like you're using quick effect or like quick play spells and stuff. So it's like virtually free. This card, this like really makes the deck I think a little more like viable. Not that it hasn't before, but like being able to like essentially de-draw Mally all day, and like draw it into like the rest of your combo pieces, was like it was super helpful, and like people would like want to interact with this card for some reason, and I'm like, you sure can activate, you know, you can interact with the card if you want, but These are standard. I don't see you ever playing less than this. Like, you have to have access to Cartasia, which is why she would probably go to 3. And future lists, I think, definitely going to 3. So you always have access. Even like a normal summon for Cartasia is worth it, I think. And then this card is absolutely ridiculous. And especially like paired with like the other trap cards and stuff in the side deck. And you know, there was a couple times where I thought I was like, you know, this was underwhelming, but it was more due to like the circumstances like I was under, rather than like, you know, not wanting to play this card, if that makes sense. Talents, this card's actually just ridiculous. There was one game, like the guy set up full board, and like I ended up talenting him, I change-a-hearted him, and then like I just killed him. And that was like through like full cash board, which I guess is like nothing now, but I mean, still with between Fenrir and Unicorn, that's still pretty good. And then just like the one-ofs to like make the deck more consistent. You're playing 2 Mercs, so this is good. This is always good. You can just foolish anything in the deck, which is incredible. The God card. And the card that I was actually not a fan of was, I was not very big fan of this at 3. Maybe it was just like unfortunate, but like I would always either draw these in multiples, or what would happen is like a lure would get stopped. And like there was like a couple times this entire tournament where like Valor / Imperm on my lure stopped my entire turn, which that's how I lost Top Cut and Nats. Like that's how you know, I almost lost this event because Valor like stopped my whole turn, or Imperm. So the problem with this is like Brain Infusion is not in the graveyard, so like it's a good card in theory. Like you can thrust like into it, or like if your Brain Infusion gets ashed, obviously you can just set this and do the same thing on your opponent's turn. However, you have to have access to the Brain Infusion, and that's what I was finding like over and over and over again. I was like, oh cool, like I have the thrust, like, but you Valored my Aluber, so you either have to like pitch it off of the Shrouded Dragon, or you know, make a weird play. So I think in the future this could probably just go back to 1 and just play the one of. That would like open 2 extra spots, which you might be able to get like more utility pieces. The extra deck is like super standard. Like there's no Dragoons, so we don't really have to go over that. Albion, there's some arguments for playing 3. However, like I was playing Albinatus or whatever, so sometimes instead of sending this, I would send this. So like you're still getting the same amount of cards, but this is important for the Branded in red. 2 Mirror Jade, it never came up more than once, or more than this. This did not, the second one didn't come up very often. I think it came in 1 or 2 games. Rebellion, that's just, you just keep shuffling your stuff back. This card's actually just ridiculous. The amount of times like you can, even Tempai, like you can interrupt them by special something like whatever they targeted. It actually came up quite a bit, so and then obviously Albaz in like the battle phase is really good. Titanclad, standard. This actually won me a game. Chimera, I think I resolved it once. I was so far ahead that it didn't matter though. Furious, I did not summon it, but having access to this card is insane. And then like the OTK god is Cortus, so I think that was like, this is pretty standard. Super Poly is not very good right now, so I think this is like the best you can you know, optimize the extra deck. The side deck, this is some of Nightfall side deck, but I kind of put my own little cards in there because I thought they were more powerful. Ash Blossom. So for the mirror, there was actually a bunch of Branded at the top tables. Like I just, at one time there was, I think like 4 of them, me and like 3 or 4 other people playing. So Ash is really good, and it's just nice to have something like to stop, like theoretically stop your opponent if they're going first. Magnamut and Druid Worm. So these were pretty good. You don't want to get puppeted by yourself if they set it up the right way though. You don't have access access, but it's still pretty good. This card, in the case tournament, it was actually cracked. So the man behind the camera actually flipped over the Super Ancient Cave on me, and I hard made Grangan oil with this and Cartasia, and I was able to pop it, and I was able to like stabilize the game from there. So the next set of cards actually might be the reason why I'm on most of my games. Snatch Steal, Change of Heart, Harpies. This did not come up as much as I thought it was going to. I like having it here. It's just like it's a one of, because like, but you're playing thrust and stuff, so like it's 4 of technically. And like the decks it's good against, it's like really good against. So I don't know if I'll actually ever cut it. We'll go these last because these are and like kind of going with like the thrust targets was for Tempai, and I guess the mirror match, you can always call this. I don't know if I would play more, but I think just having access to it with like the thrust package is really good. So like you get stopped, they stop, you stop, you know, everyone gets stopped. This is really good because like the Tempai guy kept shiftering against me, which like is not really that good, but he just like shotgunned it, so I was like, okay, thanks. And so this was in place. If you look at Nightfall's list, he was playing the Book of Eclipse, and I thought this card was more powerful, because like what I noticed is like Snake Eyes was like not playing a lot of like interrupts, or negates, I'm sorry. The most the guy did today, he was playing Hope Harbinger, so he was negating my spells. But like if you see access to this, like their whole board's gone. Like they're gonna keep they're gonna keep obviously 1 card, but I was struggling to find like the amount of interaction that they're gonna have. Like they could keep Flameburge and like pop 2 with Princess, you know, maybe, but popping doesn't really hurt this deck. And then you're able to like reestablish like a puppet after this, which is actually like the other theory of this deck is like you evenly matched. You don't need your battle phase if you're gonna make them drop, or you know, you're just gonna puppet them again. And then I hate winning with this card, but the case tournament and here the last round, this is what won me the game. The Tempai guy went first. I cracked his board. He was able to like just put bodies on the board, and I was able to like stabilize and then drop this plus a Mirror Jade, and that was pretty much enough to. Oh, and the Cartasia was on the field, so I had like just enough time to like activate Mirror Jade because he kept trying to go on the battle phase, obviously. It's like, all right, and then the end of the main phase, I will activate Mirror Jade. And the judge was sitting right there, and then they called time. So I hate winning like this, and I also I won the last round of the case tournament with this card. So I hate winning like this, but I mean, Konami needs to fix the rules, I guess. But I got cowboyed for game 2, so game today. So he
like,
literally
Gaga got cowboy.
Got cowboy. Actually, Gaga got cowboy.
Okay, what deck was that?
Tearlaments. It was round 1.
Okay.
I made some misplays in that game. I don't know if I was still asleep or what. Like I definitely should have won that game, that whole match. But gotcha. I don't know. I think I was more like confused because I was playing against Tearlaments. But over that, like I played pretty much like meta. Like Tearlaments was like the oddball, but then it was like two cash, which the one guy raged because I opened up, or I played evenly. But other than that, it was like Snake Eyes, Branded Mirror, and like Tempai, stuff like that. So like it wasn't like a trash regional, you know, where you play all weird stuff. But yeah, that's it. There was, like I said, there's a couple things that I'm definitely gonna change, probably like the fusion dupes and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, I was like super happy with how the deck played.
Cool. Any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to the whole team on Crown Kings. We're slowly getting our tops up and, you know, invites. So we'll see you guys in Texas. Obviously, shout out to the wife. She's the one that, you know, watches the kids while I get to go play cards until they're old enough to come with me. All the theory and the group chats and stuff, like, I feel like it's making a big difference for all of us, like, slowly but surely. We're really trying to do the best we can for the team, so.
Cool. All right.
That's it.
Well, congrats again, Tyler. We'll see you in Texas.
All right, thanks.